Hi there, my name is Mark Walker, and this is my podcast called Fierce Encouragement. If you're a new listener here, I just wanted to let you know that this podcast is about how we can step into that best version of ourselves, encourage and support ourselves. As a coach and a one-on-one consultant, I've found so many people and my clients, and myself included, struggle with disappointment and obviously doubt and discouragement in life. And this podcast is simply around how we can relearn and re-encourage ourselves in a positive, productive way. Not just to feel good all the time, but to show up when things get tough and imagine and use our imagination to encourage and support ourselves in fundamental ways. On a side note, if you are struggling and want to encourage yourself more, but it just isn't working, and if you want to learn more about what I offer as a coach, please reach out to me. You can find me at mark@markwalkercoach.com, and that's M-A-R-K. I hope you can give yourself permission to soak in the wisdom of this podcast, but also reach out for help if you need it and you want to feel more flourishing in your life. So in this episode of Fierce Encouragement, I wanted to take the time to talk about something that is really important and impactful to me in thinking about my life instead of kind of being pulled down by the day-to-day mundane activities, but to approach my life in a different view or a different viewpoint. It's about the hero's journey. And we see the hero's journey kind of played out on screen, whether it's the new motion picture or a book that we might be reading, or even in those small little episodes that we might be ingesting on YouTube or even on TikTok. The hero's journey to me means a lot of things, and we can kind of pull it into a coaching and relationship conversation in many different ways. But in this way, I wanted to use it to highlight some things that I think are really important with my clients, with myself, and that of kind of approaching our lives with more depth and length, but at the same time, getting perspective on what our lives entail. So it's really easy to get lulled to sleep with our days and the years and the months going by, or maybe feeling that mess of our life, all the work we need to do, the things that we might be behind on. But there's something that we can kind of approach with a fierce encouragement mindset here. And that's to bring an appreciation to the mess of our lives. Encouragement doesn't come from just our words and the things that we read in the movies, but it kind of comes from our actions. As somebody who has struggled to kind of embody a mode of living that is bigger than just the frustration that I've endured, and kind of helping people find their way and navigate through their way through that doubt and disappointment in their life, I think it's really important how we can embody that heroic pose, I guess, if you will, standing up tall, embracing the hero's pose as a body language and a non-verbal expression. This is important. How we wake up in the morning and how we sit up and how we carry ourselves as we walk and talk, the tone of our voice. And really, our kids, our coworkers see this. They sense that energy that our physical posture brings. So I just wanted to touch on that. We can embody so much encouragement, that fierce encouragement through our body language. We can set out on our hero's journey every day, which is nothing more than that day-to-day being. We can choose to show up today like a hero. And I guess that kind of takes me to another point. We have that chance every day, that moment-to-moment chance to step forward into the challenges that face us. Step forward into that difficult conversation, go towards that work project, take the time to get that resume done or that next cover letter. And we can do that in many ways, but it's important to attack it, to look at it as an opportunity to practice our heroic energy in that moment. So again, we can sit up straight, we can activate our physical body, we can encourage ourselves in our minds, and we can step out of that safety and comfort and that need to kind of hold back and know that that's what the hero's journey is kind of about. When we go out on that hero's journey, we have to leave that place of safety and comfort. All the great movies have done this with the hero. If you want to really ruin a story, that's where we just have the hero hang around and maybe overindulge in that comfort and safety and waiting for something to come to them. That's almost the anti-hero story. But every great heroic story has that lag where they leave the nest, where they leave the place of safety, and they go out and attack that challenge or go towards the uncertainty and the doubt and the discomfort. And maybe that's something where we can think about in our own lives, whether it is that new job or seeking out a new partner and a new relationship. There's that lag, that pause, that uncertainty, that difficulty. And you know what? Really in that moment, and I've felt it in my own challenges in life, be they health or relationships or work, we can start by just recommitting to being thankful for this challenge, for this heroic journey. We can increase that hero's pose and that body posture that supports us. We can increase the power of our focus and our energy and kind of bring that wonderful state of mind and that mindset that reinforces that our efforts and our actions need to be more consistent and daily and urgent. As heroes on our own individual daily journeys, but also that journey of our life, it's important to remember consistent daily effort is much better than just being excited at the beginning. I had a client today that we talked about this. It's really easy to start out on a hero's journey or a race or a new project. It's easy to start. It's easy to show up at the beginning of a semester and go to the bookstore and everybody's excited and getting their new books and, settling into their new school schedule, meeting their professors and new classmates. But it's hard in the middle. It's hard in the middle of the semester. It's hard after a few months at the job when things kind of die down and you're uncertain about what to work on or what to attack at work. And the word mediocrity comes to mind here. Mediocrity is something that can overtake us in the middle of the race, in the middle of the semester, or in the middle of a relationship. And the word mediocrity kind of implies being stuck in the middle. I think it literally means stuck in the middle of a rugged mountain. Medius acris. So when we're climbing that mountain, we get caught in those caverns and those down motions when we're climbing towards the peak, of which there's a bunch of them, right? We might make progress and climb many hundreds of feet, but then we might have moments where we need to climb down and kind of regress in a sense so we can climb that next incline. But when we accept mediocrity in our journey, when we get stuck in the middle of our own journey, our hero's journey, it can kind of feel overwhelming. So these are the moments I find in myself, and helping my clients pull out of that mediocrity is so important. Sometimes we don't even know we're in a mediocrity kind of state of mind because we don't have that support or that thought partner or that connection of somebody telling us, hey, are you making progress on that thing you wanted to do? Are you showing up when you don't feel like it? With your partner, with your studies, with your work projects, or maybe even your energy projects, meaning like your diet and exercise. So it's really important to cultivate that mindset of finding support, an honest support thought partner. And unfortunately, it's difficult to find them in our partners all the time. It's really difficult to find them at work. We talk about managers helping us and people taking those strides towards following corporate goals or work goals. But oftentimes they are very disconnected from what our deeper intentions and deeper goals are and our deeper purpose. And it's difficult to get honest, thoughtful feedback from somebody who has an agenda outside of our own or for another entity that we're not quite connected to. So it's important to remember a couple things about our own hero's journey. We don't want to ruin it by being a victim, by whining and embodying that loser mentality. When we give up, we're doomed. When we become the victim in our own heroic journey, it can feel very overwhelming. I think it's important to take a responsibility, an ability to show up and mold and shape and change our own story into something that's meaningful, something that's inspiring to us and to those around us. Otherwise, we fall into that drama of being a victim and seeing everything as a persecution and kind of pulling us down. And then we kind of start to look outside of ourselves for another hero to come and save us. And I think the fact is that is backwards. We need to be the hero in our own story. And now hero doesn't mean capes and iron suits and the superheroes that we read about in comic books. If we look at the etymology of that word, hero literally means protector. So we can be a hero in our own family. We can be a hero for ourselves if we're single and starting out on a new career pathway. I believe we need to reclaim the word hero and think about it from the perspective of protector. We protect our lives. We protect our dreams. We show up for one more person than ourselves. Maybe that is the manager or the coworker. Maybe it is your child. Maybe it is your partner. But maybe it's also the neighbor, somebody that you can help in your community. When we start to take this attitude of protector as a hero, it becomes less loaded with the comic book characters that we might see in our day-to-day life. But that hero kind of accepts their life. They have an honest clarity about where they're at, and they take that responsibility, they take that time to shape and mold their life. So there's a really good practice that I'd like to share with you as we close up this session, and I'd like to keep this really short. I've gotten some great feedback from my listeners, and thank you to you out there who do take the time to listen, that these podcasts are really condensed. There's a lot of information in them, and I guess I forget that as somebody who's just really inspired and loves to learn. But this is an exercise that you can practice right now if you're not driving and have the time. I'd ask you in your mind, and maybe close your eyes, again, if you're not driving, but to take a moment. And I want you to think of 3 heroes in your life. Seriously, who are 3 heroes in your life? 3 protectors, 3 people that have done amazing things and gone towards the discomfort, that have moved past the victim and the whining and accepting the losing. Who are they? Who really, really inspires you at this point in your life? And I'd like you to invite them towards you. I'd like you to imagine them being with you, maybe in the room that you're in, really breathing in their presence, sensing what clothes they're wearing, the looks on their face, and what it is like to stand next to your 3 heroes. What do you admire? What do you see in them? And then pausing and almost pretending like you're looking in a mirror. What about them do you see in yourself? Why are you drawn to them? What values or virtues or strengths do you have? Do you embody and that you bring into your own life because of these people. Maybe they're super creators. Maybe they're amazing business people who help and influence others' lives. Maybe they're artists. Maybe they're spiritual masters and people who really elevate your own inner being. Now, how will you bring those to your life, to your kids or your spouse? How about your parents or even your community? And what does it mean to be the hero of your own life? What is your plan? Really, truly, what is your plan to bring these virtues, to invite this heroic energy into your life? And how will you continue to be that best heroic version of yourself today, right now, in this next few minutes? Thank you for taking the time to kind of envision that. And I'd encourage you to use this practice in your journaling, evoking those heroes that you have that inspire you in your life, and really making this a practice and helping it bring more value to your own heroic journey, and almost to remind you that you're not alone. And I'd love to share this quote. I'm not sure who said it, but it's an amazing quote. I think people wake up to the fact that they are their own hero of their life when they get tired of being a victim in it. So if you have that tendency, like I have in the past, and I even struggle with it now and then, let's not be a victim in our own heroic journey. Let's take the time to evoke and be inspired by those around us and in the past that truly embodied those values and virtues that help us wake up to that hero's journey that we're all on, day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year. And make that hero's journey something that you can focus on and bring forward in your life. Now, I hope this helps. I appreciate you taking the time to listen. And again, if this is your first time or 10th time listening to my podcast, I am a one-on-one personal heroic coach. I help people take those next steps into the best version of themselves. And if you're encouraged and want to know more about what I offer, if you need help evoking that fierce encouragement in yourself, please reach out. I have a free strategy session that I'd love to connect with you on and help you come up with a customized plan so you can take those next steps on your own heroic journey. You can find me at mark@markwalkercoach.com. I'd love to connect with you. Otherwise, thank you for your time. This has been Fierce Encouragement. My name is Mark Walker. Have a great day.